Hey, welcome back to Single Car Garage, man. What's going on today? Let's see. We're underneath a car that needs exhaust. So, working on the 64 for my daughter today. I'm going to put some exhaust on it. Let me show you what we're doing, of course. Shares are headers and collectors on, and what we're going to be doing today is working on the exhaust pipe, installing mufflers, and we're going to put this drive shaft in. So we're going to be using the sleeve clamps. Really like them. And Thrush Hush, my favorite muffler. So we got all our tools and stuff laid out that we're going to be using. There's our sleeve muffler clamps and our muffler right here. So let's get to work on this. Okay, we got all the parts here. Time to make them fit. Now this is a 2.5 inch collector. Unfortunately, I have 2.5 inch pipe. So, and I'll show you this in a minute, we're going to use a pipe expander to expand this pipe so to fit on this collector. I've used these before, but the best thing that I can tell you to do is put it on there, draw it tight, let it set for a while and let the metal release. And you can even take a body hammer and ding around on it, which will help it, the metal release and get a little bit softer. But that's what I'm doing right now, so let's finish that job. Okay, we got that pipe expanded, and what you want it to do is this, the 2-inch side will go on the side you didn't expand, then your expansion goes on that side and tighten it down. So now we've got this exactly right where we want it. We've got to go back here and mark our muffler. Now what you want to do when fixing the muffler, my muffler clamp's going to run bolt in about right here. So I need the middle of my muffler. So it'll come down and connect onto this. So what I want to do is bring the muffler right there to the edge of that cross member. That should give me plenty of room. And there's where we're going to be cutting it. All right, take a look at it twice. Muffler where I want it. And I've got this marked where I want to cut it. Here's the expander I was telling you about. As it draws up, it expands, and it will go from 2 and I don't know, 1/4 up to 3.5, I think. Now, the better the exhaust pipe, the harder it is to expand. You can heat it if you want to. Usually, I put this in there, let it set for 15-20 minutes, do a little body hammer, ding it around the metal, and voila, it works. So that's how you use that. All right. So we've got this mark. So what we need to do is cut our pipe now. So we need to go find a blade that cuts metal, which I'm pretty sure I forgot to buy and I don't have any. But let me go run around the shop and see what I can find. Now what I'll do is, this is where I want it to fit. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a mark right there. And that way I know when this is up to that mark, everything's exactly where I want it. Does that make sense? Good. I wonder what I did with my pen. There it is. So I've got this back where I want it. This part here will fit all the way to here. If you notice, it lines up real good right here. So right here is where I want it. And I think my marker is back gave out. And that way, when it's slid all the way back up there, we'll know it's exactly where it needs to be tightened correctly. So that's done. Okay. Now the muffler will set actually right there. Okay, I wanted the center to actually be forward, backwards, because I really wanted my turn down to come out in here. But I had to, the only way to make it look good is to center it from the front. So not a big deal. I just like my turn downs to come out straight on the back side. And here's our pretty turn downs, which won't work unless I put an extension in it, because it needs to fit up to here. And this is stainless and can't be expanded, so this is not going to work. But not a big deal. Now the muffler will hang approximately right there. Is where it should hang. We've got good clearance everywhere. Everything looks good. Let's put it together. All right, I don't have my hanger, but I do want to get everything tightened up here. You know, I'm thinking I probably should turn these sideways because if they get hit, the header's getting hit pretty good. So there we go. Yes, tight. And we got our back ones tight. Now I've got them up out of the way. And there we are. I'm pretty sure that's the height I want it. I'm thinking I might raise it. It's pretty level there, but I'm thinking I might raise it another inch when I put on my holder. And my muffler holder will be right here. This is where it's going to bolt on. Which looks like we're going to do it underneath. We got trailing arm, upper trailing arm bolts on there, so we will drill a hole right here, right above it, so it'll come straight down. And we will raise it a little bit. So that's good looking. Now, a couple of things you want to do is make sure you measure your pipes against each other so they'll be the exact length, and that way you got nothing to worry about when you go on this other side. And this one here, the pasture side, we'll get the oxygen sensor. Now here's the oxygen sensor. And when it plugs in, it says it needs to be about 6 inches past the collector. What I want to do is dry fit this side all up, mark it, then drill it and make a hole for it. And I'm actually going to take it to professional welders so it will look good. Anderson Welding, Minville, Tennessee. Remember that. If you're ever in the area and you need something welded, this guy is a master welder and he does pretty work, and I want this to be pretty. So, yeah, it'll probably cost us $30, $40, but it will be pretty, and that's what I like. If I weld it in, not pretty. Matter of fact, my welds don't even make it to ugly, but they hold. So let's mock up this side and figure out where we want this bunghole to be drilled. What I did was position my muffler exactly where I want it. I brought this back up here and double checked my measurements. I had this marked to be cut just to double check my measurements with my attachment, and the mark was right. So my next thing to do is to cut this pipe, match this pipe, get it on here, and figure out where I want my, matter of fact, I can put it anywhere because I can twist it, but I want to see how far back I can go and be comfortable, because here's the wiring that it plugs up to. So it'll plug up right here. So I'm thinking about right like that. But to make sure everything's right, I want to double measure, double check, double everything, double mint gum. I want to make sure it's right and I don't have to do it again, because I'm not getting paid for this crap. There, we have it mocked. So my regular wiring goes right about to the collector. So I think that will give us plenty of room to install this. I want to make sure we stay away from the wires right there. There's your header wires. We'll connect this probably right here to keep it away from any heat. So that took up a little bit of room, as you can tell. So it looks like right there. I've lost my friggin' ink pen. Can't mark it. Damn it. Alright, let me go find my friggin' pen and I'll friggin' come back and mark this thing. God, I hate doing this. Alright, found a pen. Kiss my butt. Alright, want to make sure we're away from all the heat. So we're right here, and we're going to go down to right here. There we go. Now we can mark it, cut it, and install it. is what we got to do. Hey, you know, I'm about 15 minutes into this video. I've got this other side to do, so let's recap, and I think everybody can figure it out. First of all, you want to cut your pipe to the correct length, and that means mocking up everything and getting it exactly where you want it. Once you've done that, cut it. Then mount it on the collector, and I'm using these sleeve muffler. I love these. Gotta use them. I don't like looking underneath the car and seeing a bunch of welding. That's why I use them. Not a big deal. And by the way, I think I told you I can't weld. So mock it up. Mock up where you want the muffler. I always have to look from the side, because where it sits in the side and where it sits in the rear is what I like to look at the most. And it'll have a turn down on it. Unfortunately, not this turn down. And that turn down will miss everything. Pretty stainless steel. Don't know what it's going on. Not this car. Then you figure out where you want your hanger, which our hanger is going to drill through here. I'm going to hang it here, and it'll come down to here. Everything will hang nice and straight, and we should be fantastic exhaust system. So there we go. Cut your pipe where you want it. Mock everything up. Get the muffler exactly where you want it. Decide on what kind of muffler hanger you're going to use. And that was my problem, the one I went to get today. They were out of stock of. As a matter of fact, it's at the parts store now, so I'll probably get ready to go get it. Your oxygen sensor goes on the passenger side on these Phytech systems. So got my pipe cut. Got my hole drilled. I am ready to take it over to Mr. Anderson and let him put that beautiful weld on it so it'll look professional. And I won't take credit for that. And then bolt this back up, and then by then I'll have both my hangers. You're probably questioning, why am I dumping my exhaust at the rear end? When I was a kid, all my buddies that built cars before I got my own car, Steve Burdine, guy that taught me how to paint, man, I love that man. He died several years ago, but God, I love that man. And he worked for my dad, started a body shop, let me hang out and learn a lot of stuff from him, and I really appreciate that. But he always dumped them at the rear end. All my buddies always had dumps at the rear end, and I think it's because back then, when we went to the went to the muffler shop to get mufflers, bending over that axle was the most expensive part. And as you can tell, the people that make my cross members for me have a nice cutout for the pipe, which makes it really easy to run straight pipes. I like straight pipes. My daughter's car, this is the 64 lemans, and she likes the way my Impala and my GTO sound, and that's where they dump, so be it. That's where this is going. If we don't like it, we'll go over the rear end at a later date if we don't like it. So she's putting 2.5s on this, and man, I think we're ready to go. So I'm going to go get this drilled and finished up. I think you all know how to put an exhaust pipe on. You've watched me put this one on. I don't think you need any more directions. So, hey, that's it on the exhaust pipe. You got it? It's easy. Now let me show you what we're doing. One last thing. This is real easy, and I already have it mocked up, so it ain't no big deal. But I've got the dry shaft. Aluminum dry shaft. Chattanooga driveline. If you're in the area, best guys to work with. They built my aluminum dry shaft for the Camaro, for my 66 Impala, for my 70 GTO. They do all our driveline stuff. They're fantastic people. I love them to death. Driveline, Chattanooga Driveline. Love them, love them, love them. But we did our measurements. And I'm just putting it in. Real simple. Now, measuring your own dry shaft and stuff might seem scary to you all. There is if you go online, there is a real nice piece of paper, or if you're doing business with a driveline shop, they'll have it. It'll tell you exactly where to measure from to get it right. They take 3 or 4 measurements. You take it to them. They'll question you to make sure you did them right, because some people like to rethink that crap, and you don't need to do it. Listen to the professionals. But they'll get it all mocked up for you, and with off those measurements, and everything will work perfectly, and you'll love it. And the aluminum dry shaft, unsprung rotation weight is amazing. What it makes a difference. Everything makes a difference. So got that on there, and we are ready to rock and roll. Let me go get this pipe welded so we can get it on, and we're getting close. So, hey, there you know about the dry shaft, aluminum dry shaft. It goes in this end. It goes over the input shaft, and back here it bolts in. It's real easy. If you took yours out, hopefully you know how to get it in. A couple of things, all kidding aside, I always get new straddle straps when I put them in. You don't have to, but I do. They're cheap, they're inexpensive, the nuts have never been worn. And I will tell you from personal experience, put a little bit of Loctite on there. It's been 1996. I was headed to Kentucky to a car show in my 70 GTO. I had just put everything together. Matter of fact, I'd probably put 1,000 miles on it. And my buddy called me and said, man, drive goat up. So I did. At around Corbin, Kentucky, I lost something back here, which made my dry shaft drop out. I lost a straddle. One was in, one was out. One came loose. I know they were tight because I torqued them, but I didn't use Loctite on them. I never had used Loctite on them. They had lock washers on them. I had new lock washers on them. Well, anyway, it came loose. Luckily, it came loose from the back, so it didn't catapult the car anywhere. I was just broke down on the interstate for about 8 hours waiting for somebody to come get me. So I've always, since then, put a little dab of Loctite on there just to make sure it's not going to vibrate loose or do anything stupid. So, hey, some more advice for you. So, we've got the exhaust on one side on, and we do need a hanger there. And I'm going to get this other hole done. So that's what I'm doing today. What I'm going to do right now is we've got a little bit of decent weather, short, very short window. And I need to be out here working on the truck. So I'm going to go out here and put some sealer on the truck, because I've got all the body work and stuff done. And then we will get back to this. And when I get all my hangers and stuff up, when I'm working on another video, I'll give you a quick look at what it looks like. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Come back and see me.